This is Enemy at Mad Cool Festival in Madrid, Spain, and we're here talking to E from Eels. E, thanks very much for joining us.
This shit is mad cool.
So we are in sunny Spain. No, actually, we're on the call of your tour bus at the moment. But have you got some Spanish phrases that you can pop out on stage?
I need siesta.
It's a bit late for that now.
It's a little late. I miss siesta.
You've been on tour in Europe for a little while now. How's the tour going?
It's going great. Best ever.
The best ever?
Best ever.
Best ever of all bands or of Eels?
Of all bands ever in the world.
So you've just, I was just talking to your tour manager there. You've done some kind of a whole range of different shows over the years. I remember seeing the Days of the Galaxy tour, which was a real spectacle, and it performed in theatres. What's the current stage show?
The current thing is something for everybody. It's a show for the whole family.
Okay.
Not just the Manson family.
Right. What does that mean? Kind of, people in
It goes
costumes.
up and down. It's got rock. It's got soft rock. It's got something for everybody.
But you could done kind of some sort of kind of little gimmicks and effects and things in the past. This is kind of straight up rock and roll, is it?
More or less. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So your new album, The Deconstruction, came out this year.
Yeah.
How happy were you with the response to it?
Well, you have to try not to pay too much attention to that, and because the only thing you have any control over is making it. You know, and that's the fun part. And then after that, it's all just out of your hands.
It's influenced to an extent by by what's happening in the world and kind of the state of affairs.
Yeah, I think it had to be. I think anything has to be at this point. Things are getting so crazy that I think we're all so affected by.
So as we speak, there is I don't know if you've read about this. There's a blimp of Donald Trump as a giant orange baby flying above the Houses of Parliament in London because he's on a state visit there.
I haven't seen that, but that's fantastic.
So this is a protest. I don't know if you've heard about this. I was just kind of interested in your thoughts on it. As an American, your president's come to the UK, and there's planned protests all over the UK about him even coming. Well, is that it's awkward because we're friendly countries, and
I'm just glad we already went to the UK and we're not there when it's happening.
You, on the other hand, have the freedom of the City of London, which you got
That's right.
in 2014. What does this entitle you to do? Can you kind of
You should be a little more respectful, and you should have dressed up a little.
Yeah.
Shorts, really? To a Freeman?
What does it mean?
Ghastly.
Can you kind of crossbow a knave after midnight or something like this? Or?
Well, what I'm allowed to do, among other things, if I'm picked up on the streets drunk, they do not send me to jail. They send me home in a taxi,
Right.
And that's come in handy more than once.
It's almost worth
and
being
the other
picked up,
thing
saving
is,
the taxi fare.
Well, the other thing is I'm allowed to herd my sheep across London Bridge,
Right.
which I did at midnight the night before our show at Brixton, and mostly it went well. There was a couple of accidents. We lost a couple of sheep, but dinner the next night was delicious.
So there was kind of a gap between between albums there. So did you kind of sort of retire from music, sort of semi-retire from music in that time?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was that like? How do you switch off the urge to create music?
I'd never really done it before, but I really wanted to do it this time. I didn't know if I was ever going to go back to it either. That's how serious I was about it. So it was easy because I just had to.
So what did you fill your time with?
Just everything else that I've been neglecting for 20 years.
Right.
All the normal stuff that you probably tend to daily.
Oh, I don't know. I'm a music journalist. It's quite similar. I think similar level of Arrested Development to being in a band.
That's probably true.
Yeah. But so and it seems like you're saying maybe you didn't know if you were going to go back to it. Would it have been sad? Were you kind of would you have missed it? So obviously you did miss it because you felt the urge again.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't that I felt the urge. It's just sort of like at a certain point. Over the 4 years that I took off, I very slowly would, write and record a song, and maybe 6 months later do another one, just if I really felt very strongly inspired. But I didn't think I was making an album, and I wasn't thinking about putting anything out. And then at some point, though, late in that process, it started to rear its ugly head. Oh no, I'm making an album. And then you get on the train and you can't get off. So it's all like none of it's really decision making on my part. It's just you just have to go along with whatever happens.
So in a way, though, these are the songs you had to make. It's not you weren't kind of fulfilling a record company obligation or anything. These are songs you needed to get out.
No, I could have not made anything if I wanted to.
And you were in love during that period. In Love, the TV series, I should say. But I don't know about your personal relationships.
Yes.
You were fantastic in Love, the series. Do you have any plans to do any more of that acting?
It's funny you said it like that, because one day after I had shot some of my stuff in the first season of Love, I was walking into a restaurant in Los Angeles, and a young woman walked up to me, and she had sunglasses on, and she said, "E, I was in love with you." And I was like, uh-oh, it's a stalker. And I was like, God, even the stalkers fall out of love. Like, and then she put her sunglasses down. It was one of the actors from the TV show Love.
Yeah.
She was literally in the show Love with me.
That's so meta as well, because that is exactly the kind of thing that would happen in Love, the show, isn't it?
Yeah.
Were you happy with the way that wrapped up?
I love that show. I was a fan of the show anyway. You know, I didn't know what it was when I first got there, because it hadn't been on yet in the first season. But then when I saw the first season, I was immediately a fan.
So you were happy with the kind of the conclusion of it all?
Yeah, I thought they wrapped it up nicely. You don't really know. Well, no spoilers. No spoilers.
Oh, they've had enough time to watch it now.
Yeah, maybe not.
I mean, do you have any kind of desire to sort of pursue acting as another strand to your
If
career?
something came along that it felt like a good fit, but I think most likely in that one wasn't much of a stretch. I'm just playing a even more pretentious musician than myself. So maybe convicts or homeless men, that kind of, maybe some roles like that will come along.
Okay, great. Yeah, that sounds good. And I don't know if you know. I don't know if you've been following the World Cup. You have been in Europe while it's been on. England crapped out quite spectacular last night. Yeah,
I didn't
we
know.
fought hard and
Yeah.
we left in the semi-finals, which is the best we've done for years.
Listen, man, I'm a musician. Okay, it's either sports or music.
Oh no, I was just
I'm
going to
not-
ask you. This is a musical question. What song of yours would you play to the English nation to soothe their heartache today?
Oh, well,
I know you've got some heartache
That's
tunes.
a very poignant question.
Exactly. So you thought you wondered where I was going with that.
Well, I'm writing a new one just for this occasion. It's called "Boo Hoo, Your Team Lost."
What's the first line?
Boo hoo, your team lost. I don't give a fuck. It's not because I care about the other team. I just can't be bothered.
It sounds.
I'm working. It's
Sounds like
very
a winner
new.
to me.
I maybe the second line should rhyme. I haven't decided yet.
It's embryonic. Well,
Yeah.
they don't have
Yes.
to rhyme, do they?
Yeah.
And have you started thinking about the next album?
No, I don't even know if there is a next album. Who knows?
Okay.
Yeah.
So in a way, catch you on the road now. Because
All I'm
it's-
thinking about, today is I'm on a 24-hour basis. Today it's mad cool. We got here. This is the first day of the festival. There's a pool backstage.
Yeah.
I was the first one in the pool of the festival.
Were you?
Yeah.
You christened it.
Oh yeah. Like
Did you-
everybody else is gonna be in there, Eddie Vedder, Jack White, but I was in there first.
Did you let out a small wee? Just
That's
as you
my
could?
wee you're swimming in. Jack White, Eddie Vedder, who else is gonna be here?
Kasabian and the Arctic Monkeys.
Arctic Monkeys. That's my pee. Enjoy.
On that note, I think we shall leave it there.
Cheers.
E, thank you so much for talking
Thank
to
you.
us and have a great show.
Thank you.